Awesome. So, hi, and welcome to our presentation on the Global Brigades Club. I'm Alan, and I'm one of the exec on Global Brigades. So, let's get started. So, mission statement. So, Global Brigades is really about empowering these volunteers from universities or around the community to go into under-resourced communities to help resolve global health, economic disparities, and to work towards building an equal world and a better place for everybody. So here's the agenda. We'll be talking about some of the values, the visions of Global Brigades, the places where we work, our history, some of the models that we use to guide our mission statements, and all the sorts of brigades and initiatives, which are opportunities that all of you can get involved in this year. And finally, we have some ways that we can stay in touch. Okay, so our mission, vision, and values. So our mission, like I said, was to help under-resourced communities around developing countries to help resolve these disparities. And this vision of ours is to improve the quality of life. And it's all run by students along with the organization. So it really is about volunteering and giving that passion. And then finally, we have values like, empowering. We want to empower local communities themselves so that they have the power to make change. We have a holistic approach, which is what you'll see as we go through all the different brigades. Scalability, so that, it's manageable by us, by the community. It doesn't need any outside foreign aid to help. We make sure it's sustainable, that, the finances are going to where they need it to be. And finally, we work with the community and not just, not just our own ideas. So where we work. So as you can see on this map, all the dots in yellow are places where Global Brigades gets its volunteers. So you got places like the United States, we have Canada, of course, and we have countries like Ireland, UK, and Germany so far. And some of the Global Brigades countries that we're in are places in Latin America, in Guatemala, Nicaragua, and Honduras, which was a country we've gone to for the past year or so, 2 years or so. And we have a country in Africa, Ghana, which is in West Africa. And finally, we have this country, Greece, as well, which is a new addition to the program countries so that we can help out with the refugee crisis that's going on over there. So yeah, it's all the places that we're going to. And every year we kind of decide, which area, it's actually based on demand, which areas need us, which ones we need to be in, or also we get input from the brigade members as well. And then, we're talking about the history right here, but of course, it's really student run. There's this medical brigades system, and we're also now expanding beyond medical relief. So we'll just go quickly into that. So our holistic view. So that's right, Global Brigades, we implement a holistic model to meet the community's health and economic goals. And eventually, our goal is to help the community sustain itself without any use of foreign assistance or aid. So yes, we begin with the sustainable health systems. So I feel like that's the most important part of development. You can't really do much else if the community itself isn't healthy. So medical and dental brigades is the first step in what Global Brigade does. And eventually it's dealing with finances, with handling money, because money will bring power in terms of its business and economics. And originally we had water first because we also thought water is such an invaluable resource to communities. But eventually we realized that without the money to sustain the infrastructure for clean water, which involves building pipes that allows running water to flow into communities. Community members end up just selling the pipes for money. So we want to make sure that they have the money that is a foundation before they go into the infrastructure aspect, which is the water and engineering brigades. And finally, we go into, like I said, the home sanitation infrastructure. So that's the public health brigades, and they help out with things like running water, building for example kitchens so that they're able to cook their foods, as well as like hygiene, like latrines and toilets as well. And lastly, we have the business brigades. So like this really ties everything in, because like when you have businesses developing, that's when I think like growth of the community can occur. So this is the holistic view of global brigades. Okay, so then we have the Empowered 100. So this is our campaign to empower 100 of Latin America, Central America's rural communities with 65,000 people within them to get out of global poverty with the United Nations 3 Sustainable Development Goals. So it kind of all ties in. Each of our brigades ties into one of the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN has. So that's the Empowered 100. All right, the 3 core components, and then that's what we talked about with the public health, engineering water, the business, and then the healthcare systems. So to get into that more specifically, we have the volunteer brigades, and each brigades last about 1 to 3 weeks. Oh, it was Panama, my bad. So it was like Panama, Guatemala, Honduras, Ghana, and now Greece to go into those communities. But before that, a lot of the time is spent on fundraising goal to support our work, and that fundraising money goes into obtaining medical supplies and buying other sorts of resources for those communities before you can go in to help them. And like we said, each of these brigades fall into a different category of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is something we'll go more in detail in the following slides. So of course, we got our medical brigades, and the medical brigades has mobile clinics in rural communities that are quite isolated from the bigger cities, so they won't otherwise have easy access to healthcare. So there are like community doctors that also volunteer, that spend their time giving patients free checkups and everything. And our volunteers are in charge of, they can shadow doctors, they can help in triage, taking patient vitals, and also filling prescriptions under pharmacy supervision, and also like helping out with the workshops that talk about how to like health education, like sanitation or things like that. And medical brigades also works and trains community health workers, and also produces a patient referral program that will connect patients who need care that's outside of just the medical clinic, that maybe they can get help in places that are better suited to handle their unique needs. So that's the medical brigades. And it's honestly one of my favorites, because you get so much experience in a healthcare setting in there internationally. Then we have the dental brigades as well. So they also have mobile clinics in rural communities that also don't have access to a dentist. So once again, you're able to work with dentists who are also doing patient vitals. You can help out by shadowing them. You can watch patient extractions of teeth, of cleanings, scalings, filings, and also facilitating the workshops with dental hygiene. So that is our 2 sustainable health systems brigades. But then we have more. Then we have our brigades, which is also a lot of fun, because they help guide local communities and their businesses to help increase their income. And volunteers who do these brigades are able to assist in facilitating these financial literacy workshops, small business consulting, and also assess loan payment capacities. So I think this is a relatively new brigade as well. And originally, the Global Brigades worked with community leaders to organize community-owned banks, which provided access to savings and loans for community members. So yeah, if you're into business, this is a great idea right there. Okay, and then we have the engineering brigades. So engineering brigades designed to clean water systems that are built and implemented by the water brigades. So yeah, that sounds really interesting. Where the volunteers get to assist in the community, assessing community water needs, testing the water quality, and infrastructure development, as well as community leader training, facilitating hygiene and sanitation. So it goes hand in hand with all the other health in corporations, but also they also get to apply the building aspect of that as well, which is really cool. Yeah, I see one of your questions about I think it was Kevin who asked about how to get involved with Business Brigades. Well, first you can begin by signing up to the MUN Global Brigades, and the university chapter runs all of these different brigades. So we can let you into our Facebook group, which I'll share after the meeting, and we'll get you involved with people who are interested in the Business Brigades. Thanks for the question. Whoops. Okay, then we have the water brigades. The water brigades constructs the clean water systems that are custom designed for each community by the engineering program. So this is also like pretty intensive too. I call this like a gym exercise because you really get to work out, because you personally get to assist in the trench digging. You get to backfilling, installing the pipes and the faucets. So I think part of our brigade also involves working in some of the other ones as well. So I think I wasn't on the one in Honduras, but I think the first couple days involved doing labor and help, but for a good cause, because you get to help community get clean drinking water. And also water brigades helps out with the hygiene, safe water educating, as well as following up on completed systems to make sure that they're still running over time. And in addition to the engineering and water brigades, and yeah, you also get like a water council that also gets fees from the operating of these water systems. Okay, cool. So then we have public health brigade. So that's really about like, I think combining the health, hygiene, and sanitation aspects, and they get to help community health workers, which work in the area, and they do home visits to help understand the needs of the public in terms of the public health needs, as well as other sorts of projects. Like I said, like building eco stoves, as you can see in this picture, building latrines, showers, water storage units. Then we have the global legal empowerment, which is really interesting. It's also new. This is where you lend legal services and information to the rural community members. So it's like pro bono consulting, where you work in resolving cases. A lot of the cases you'll work with involve like things like domestic disputes, stuff like that, as you get to assist the community. That's the legal brigades. And of course, there's other initiatives that we have as well, like education, women's empowerment, and legal empowerment. So all of these humanitarian aspects are incorporated in global brigades. And GB 365 means that this is a lifestyle. It's not just the 1 to 3 week brigade. You're constantly trying to fundraise, you're constantly trying to educate yourself about these initiatives. Okay, and we stay in touch. So yes, we do have a Facebook group. It's called like MUN Global Brigades. And when you type that in to Facebook, you should be able to find the group. It's like set to private, so you have to like request a join group, and you guys will be let in very quickly by a lot of hosts. So that's how you get in touch. And then we also have, because we don't have in-person brigades until I think March of 2021, there are tele-brigades, which are brigades that are done virtually, so you can see doctors who are operating in a different country, but you'll be at home kind of observing and seeing what's going on. So if you guys are interested in that, we also have an information session this Thursday at 7 p.m. So that's how you find out more about the tele-brigades. And then we'll also, once you're in the group, we also keep you in the loop about the general meetings, which don't happen really often. They usually happen like every other week or something like that. And you also get involved with all of the fundraising initiatives as well. So yeah, just join the Facebook group and check it out, see if you like it. And I guarantee a lot of you will, because there's something for everybody at the university. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions before I pretty much have to go? You're good? Can people find the MUN Global Brigades Facebook group? Yeah, if we're good, I'm going to stop sharing and I'll let the next presentation begin.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today, Alan. So I'll be sure to include the Facebook group with the recording of your video so that folks can find it up online. And again, thank you so much for joining us here today. I know some folks were definitely interested in getting involved with this organization, so hopefully you folks will be getting some new volunteers soon.
All right, thank you so much for your opportunity, Lindsay.